agreeing to a 64 and More interview, finding the time in her busy White House schedule was the biggest challenge for Liz Allen. After much review of dates and times, Liz promised 45 minutes sandwiched in between her busy workday and a White House Correspondents Dinner. Ultimately, on interview day, we spent more than 2 hours talking, running my camera light out of battery and Liz out of time. Yet this gracious young woman took another few minutes to answer the 64 and More 10 questions, just as genuinely and thoughtfully as she had throughout our entire interview. Who is the most important person to you?
Both of my siblings. I can't narrow it down to one. Can't choose favorites.
What is most valuable to you?
Relationships.
Why?
Because I think that you are who you are in part based on the support system around you. And I wouldn't be able to be who I am without the people that support me and that are part of my life every day.
You carry that message through, and no matter what question, no matter what topic we've been on, that thread has woven through every answer that you've given me in some way. Do you try to be an integral part of life to other people as well?
Yeah, I think a lot of that stems from my belief that little things matter as much as big things. Making sure that you're celebrating someone's birthday or their achievement or,
But you can't have much time to do those things.
You make time. Everyone's busy, but we make time.
What makes you happiest, no matter when it happens or how it happens, it just makes you happy?
Oh, goodness. Laughter. I love comedy. I love being inspired to laugh.
What do you enjoy doing the most?
Traveling, spending time with friends, just enjoying a good meal. I think it comes down to some of those simple things. Like, I'm a really happy girl having a really good steak and a really good glass of red wine with some friends.
Which been your favorite place that you've gone on all your travels with the Vice President and the President? Do you have a favorite?
Oh, goodness. Brazil ranks pretty high, as does London, as does Vietnam. Internationally, those come to mind. I've been grateful. I think my country count is about 36 right now.
Do you have a place you want to go?
Italy would be like my first stop tomorrow if I got a plane ticket. Yeah, I've only ever been to Italy once, and it was for work. It was actually for the papal inauguration mass in Rome when Pope Francis was inaugurated, which especially in hindsight was meaningful, besides being meaningful at the time. But I did not have enough time to explore Italy as much as I would like to. What
is your biggest life fear, and how have you or do you overcome it?
Well, I don't know that it's a fear as much as I think I would share that insecurity is, I think, one of the hardest things to face, and feeling like you're not good enough or you're not up to the task of, the faith that others have placed in you. So I fear not being good enough.
Has that been specifically in the jobs in the White House, or has that been something that has gone along with you your whole career?
I think it's gone a little bit throughout the career. I think you feel it more acutely at the White House based on the spotlight that's on you and on your colleagues. So I think, and that is a common theme I hear from some of my colleagues too. We often talk about it that, as you mentioned, we do feel like, oh my goodness, we work at the White House and we have this incredible responsibility placed on us, and we do the best that we can every day, and so you fear that it's not good enough. That being said, I think we can all be proud of the work we've done here. So, we try to sort of balance that perspective.
Is it important to you to spend time with other people, or are you someone who needs alone time?
Both would be my answer. I'm an introvert, which surprises some people who know me because they think, spending time with my friends and talking to people is so enriching in my life, but I need alone time as well. I value nights on my couch alone watching movies. So I feel personally like it's a very big balance, but I need alone time to feel recharged for sure.
How do you define quality of life?
I would define quality of life mostly by doing what you want to do and not doing what others expect of you.
So then this next question, do you consider what society terms as important to you, or do you tend to march to your own drummer?
I think that I am a combination. Success is important, but people define success in different ways. So I think some of the answer to the question is about how you define the things that society says are important. So I think it's a combination, but I think a lot of it, you have to rely on your personal definition of the things that are important.
What is your lifetime dream?
I think we all hope to leave this earth and have made a mark. I feel like having been a part of some of the things I've been a part of, especially in this job, I feel fulfilled in that way. And so I think in some ways that you have to redefine what your dreams are.
as you go along.
As you go along. Yeah.
Because I cannot imagine, as you changed your major in your sophomore year at Geneseo, that you could ever envision where you are and what you've achieved.
Never. You can't. You never think you're going to be that person. But when you get there, you feel lucky to be there, and then you just take the opportunity that you've been given and try to do the best you can.
Okay, but there's got to be one secret dream.
Well, I will say specifically, I'd like to be able to say I visited all 7 continents. So.
How close are you now?
I'm at 5.
What 2 are you missing? Australia
and Antarctica.
So, well, you could probably leave Antarctica.
I feel pretty. I want to get to it. I want to do all 7. So that's sort of one practical dream of mine.
Have you ever set a goal, like said to yourself, okay, I want to do this, and not done it? Because everything we've talked about today, you had a goal, you had a progression, and you got there and you did it and you moved on. Are you just that organized and wired that way and driven?
You know, I think a lot of what we've talked about has been professional, either academic or job related. I think there are certainly goals in my personal life, whether you struggle with your own body image or you struggle with your family relationships, and there are goals in sort of that part of my life that are still being worked on. So I certainly don't feel as if I don't view things as a checklist. I know I've been able to check most of my boxes, but I think I would make a distinction between sort of professional goals and personal goals.
The things that you've achieved and accomplished are not things that most women in America accomplish, because it's a very small group of people who get to work in the White House. Do you see yourself as a role model, and that do you understand that by doing what you've done and achieving as you've achieved from Buffalo, New York, that there are a lot of little girls thinking, wow, she did it, I could do that too? Do you ever think of your work in those terms?
I do now, only because I've had people present it to me that way. It's not something I certainly set out to do, and it's not something you see yourself doing, but I am acutely aware that the position that I hold and the jobs that I've held speak more symbolically beyond just my personal experience, which is why I think it's important to try to live that sort of best version of what this is, as I mentioned. I gave the commencement address at my alma mater this past year.
College or high school?
College. After my commencement, I received very sort of unexpected feedback from people that I didn't even know, or friends of friends, especially from a few of the young women in the audience who were graduating, who said, I'm going to go give it a shot in politics because she showed me that it's possible.
Yeah.
And that is probably more rewarding than anything else I can think of. I mean, certainly my work at the White House is rewarding, but that's rewarding on a different level. I had the benefit of strong female role models in my life growing up. Many teachers, including your daughter, who demonstrated the type of character and work ethic that you need to succeed in any field, and that I feel greatly benefited me. And that was true of my time at the State Department too. I worked for some very strong women, especially during that internship, that I greatly admired.
The day after the inauguration and you wake up, what do you imagine?
To be honest, I don't know. And that's kind of exciting. It's a little bit scary, but it's mostly exciting.